What up? It's your boy Cristo coming at you live, baby. Just want to give a shout out to all those misfits out there. It's cold out there. Hope you all are staying warm. It's winter season. As always, got my boy with me.
What's going on, guys? It is Rocky Raccoon, and it is December 14th, and we are in episode 39. And as Cristo said over here, hope everyone's staying warm. Colorado did total some pretty crazy snow up in the higher mountain areas. I think they recorded over 21 inches of snow up in the Cresta Butte area. So
Cresta Beauty.
if you're up there,
I like Cresta Butte.
Cresta Booty.
It's a pretty place.
If you're up there or you're in the higher elevations, stay warm, stay safe,
Stay frosty.
stay frosty, misfits.
Yo, let's talk about December and this winter time and stuff, man.
Yeah, it's cold, dude. It's cold one. A lot of people are expecting either to have a like cold to the bone type of winter, or like a wet winter with heavy snowfall. You know what I mean? Like a dry, cold winter or a wet winter. So I'm leaning more so towards the drier end.
Yeah, it snowed, I think, pretty hard last night.
Yeah, it did. It snowed pretty hard.
Not too bad.
And I think, so we live in Canyon City. The snow is pretty much gone by noon. The roads weren't even that bad in the morning, super foggy, but...
Oh, no, they were pretty bad. Going to work at 4 or 5 in the morning, dude, they were pretty bad, yeah. It was foggy as hell. You couldn't see
really
3 feet in front of me.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. And I'm speaking in somebody else's shoes because my old lady went to work at 4 and she called me. She was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And I was like, what? I can't see 3 feet in front of me right now. I'm literally going like 10 miles under the speed limit.
Yeah, the fog was bad.
And I was like, oh, man.
The fog was pretty bad.
I mean, we've been talking about the fog the past couple episodes, man, because like the accidents out there with the pile up and the fires burning and dance floors burning, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Watch it out there, man.
And we do have a family member that lives up in the mountains.
Who's that?
Benny. He's a ranch hand up in the mountains.
Oh, yeah, he just sent us a video of
all the snowfall.
The trenches out there.
It's bad. I don't even know if he had he got snowed in, had to shovel himself out, let his dog out to go to the bathroom, disappeared. Had to put it on a rope, tow her back in,
pull her back in. I think the dog's feet are like 2 inches.
It's a little corgi.
2 inches tall.
So it's hopping through the snow. Hop.
Yo, man, holiday season. Hope y'all are ready. Hope y'all got your Christmas presents, your gifts. Don't be slackers, bro. Don't be procrastinators. You know, if you got a big family, you should have been thinking about that stuff a long time ago. And if you're tight on money, you should have been thinking that shit a long time ago. Yeah, I think I only got like a couple things left to do.
This is the first year I've actually been on top of it. Usually I'm like Usually like by this time, I still don't have any presents bought. Still don't have anything done. But I'm there. I'm close. I think, like you said, I got pretty much everything. There's just a few more things here and there that luckily I can just go get and I don't have to get shipped to me. Because if you're trying to get something right now and you're trying to get it shipped, you better be praying right now because it's going to say that it's going to come before Christmas, but you never know, man.
And you're going to have to pay for that double extra fee to get it here faster.
Just to be safe, yeah.
Hey, so do you guys do the white elephant? You know what I'm saying? So do you guys do like the white elephant? You know what I'm saying? Like that gift exchange program?
Yeah, so...
for inner city kids. The gift exchange program.
I've done it at a few office parties, the white elephant, and it's been pretty fun. You know, we all just buy whatever, and I think I came home with like a bottle of liquor.
Nice. See, I like playing the white elephant gift, bro, but I like having a minimum and a cap to it.
Yeah. We I think we set a minimum of like $25.
See, that's lame, bro.
A minimum of 25?
Yeah. Okay, so minimum of 25 is good. You know, 25 and up.
And the cap was 50, so it wasn't really that much. But I mean, there was a lot of stuff.
As long as you have a minimum and a maximum balance, you know what I mean? Because I know like sometimes people will be like, no, there's no maximum, no minimum. And like you open your gift and you get like duct tape. And you're like,
yeah. And the next dude gets a gold chain.
It's funny, dude, but I just spent $50 on this white elephant gift and somebody else made it out and I got this.
And I guess there's different types of white elephants that people like the joke gag gifts type of things. And there's like actual like white elephant where I think white elephant's actually supposed to be like a gag gift type of deal, but I think a lot of people do it as just like
Dude, I don't know where that
gift
came
thing.
from, but I remember my buddy RJ, his mom, we played a game at one of his birthday parties, and it was a white elephant gift. But there was like 50 people here, dude. And it was like the coolest experience I've ever had, dude. It wasn't like nothing like,
Lame.
yeah, it was like the coolest. I was like, whoa, dude, people put time and effort into this.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, I don't know, 10. And nowadays, like,
actually,
dude, we get like duct tape, cookies.
now that I think about it,
You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, dude, this ain't it, bro. But I'll keep playing.
I think
You
my
know what I
family
mean?
did it one year when I was like 14. And I vaguely remember like I got like a can of beets and then someone else got like tissue paper and then like
Yeah, but
another person got, like,
I
a
remember
thing of
that
gum.
because your can of beets were like 2 cans of beets with a piece of yarn on it.
Beats headphones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beats headphones.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff I was used to, like gag stuff, and like someone gets it, and you're like, "What am I supposed to do?"
I mean,
with
I'm
this?
down to play 2 games like that. I'm down to do the funny game and the serious game. But at the end of the day, you can't mix that stuff.
No, yeah, you definitely got to set some ground rules first, so that way someone doesn't show up with a.
Oh, you know what I remember too? I remember your 15th birthday party. It was at your mom's house before the renovation, so we were in the small house. And you had all your friends come over and stuff, and you had that game where you had to put the quarter in the Tootsie Roll thing, and you had to stand on the chair.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, dude, you had to
I
drop
don't even
it in.
remember that.
Logan was there, Ben was there, Tyrell
Tyrell.
was there, Kelly was there. Of course, me and Benny were there.
Gosh, I don't even remember that. Is that when the
This is
basement
when
was
you
done?
had,
At least
no, before pre-renovations. Like I said, this is when you had the mud room. You 2
had
scrangy,
been when I
mangy
was
looking
younger
dogs.
then.
Yeah, you were like 13, right? 15.
Not, had have been like 11.
Oh, dude,
because
maybe you were turning 13 or something.
maybe because when I was 15, that was already done.
Was it? Ah, man.
Yeah, it got done halfway into right when I went into high school. Well, right when I went into high school, they had the basement done, and then all you could do is just run around on top on the floors, and there was nothing outside. And then through the rest of high school, they finished it. So yeah, it had to have been in middle school.
Okay, I also remember starting that renovation in your house. You have a couple acres in your backyard, and your parents put that big old mound mud field back there because they were digging out the trench.
Yep.
And I remember you teaching me how to ride a quad for the first time, dude. Ride the bike for the first time, and I ran into the fence. Do you remember that or
was
no,
fun
dude?
times, dude? Yeah, because then
You're like,
Richard had his over here, too.
turn. You're like, hey, why didn't you turn? I was like, I was trying. You're like, no, you weren't. You just ran into the fence. You got to turn it.
yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't know, dude.
Dude, I had a lot of good memories back there on that 4-wheeler. And honestly, dude, I'm surprised I didn't get like seriously hurt.
Like a broken arm.
Yeah, I've still to this day, knock on wood, haven't broken an arm. And that 4-wheeler has fallen on top of me. It's fell on top. Like when I was Richard was driving me, and Richard's a pretty big guy. Went up a hill.
Hefty.
He falls on me, and then the 4-wheeler falls on him, and I'm at the bottom.
Oh.
And it hurt. But we got back up, started riding again.
This is when Richard was called Big City, wasn't he?
Big City? Yeah, I don't know.
Big City, and Richard was called like, or it was Matt and Richard.
I don't remember.
They were 2 big fat asses. To this day, you can tell one was different than the other, but you can tell now,
Yeah.
Big City and Big Nasty. I think that's what they were called, right? Big
that's
City
what it
and
was.
Big Nasty.
Shout out to those guys.
That's
Much
funny,
love,
dude.
man. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, man. A lot of fun times with that 4-wheeler. I remember when I first got it. It was a couple months old. I went over there with your brother Fernando to the hills over here, and
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about
there was this guy there that was like, "Hey man, can I drive your 4-wheeler?" And it was just me and Fernando, and I was like 13. And I look at him, and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead. He's cool." Didn't know the guy, and gets on the 4-wheeler, and he's just hauling ass, just back and forth, and he's coming back, and he's like, dragging the rear brake, going like this, and next thing I know, he just flips it. Oh. And he's like, "Oh my god, dude, I'm so sorry. Is anything wrong? And I'm like, "I don't know. Like, it looks fine." In front, I was like, "Yeah, we're good." But I'll never forget that day. I'm like, dude, that's why you gotta
lesson learned. Don't let people borrow your stuff, dude.
Lesson learned, man. I know that happened to Nick out there when he had his crotch rocket in high school too.
Oh, I think Nick with Tyler something, right?
Yeah.
What
Tallahassee,
Mississippi. Yeah.
Tallahassee was Matt, I think.
That's funny.
Matt Middlestead.
I think tell me that story because I think I heard a different side.
No, yeah, I just heard
like
that
a
he was
Whiskey
like
Throttle, right?
Yeah, he was
Pretty
like,
much.
I know how to ride it, and he got on and
Embarrassing.
I don't think it was whiskey throttle. I think what it was is he came up to us. No, yeah, maybe it was. He came up to a stop and then dumped the bike.
Oh, he dumped it?
Yeah, because I don't know if it was. I don't know.
Dude, I know a dude who dumped a bike like, I'm going to say like 6 years ago, dude. He was going to my mom's house. No, yeah, about 6 years because I had my house for about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
I was hanging out at my mom's house. He's like, hey, you want to hang out? Yeah. I was like, yeah, man, come on over. I was just playing Call of Duty. No, PUBG at the time in my mom's house, dude. I hear a I'm like, oh, man, some kid just ate something on his bike, dude. My buddy all texts me. He's like, you better not tell anybody. I'm telling the world right now. So when you see this video, you know who you are.
What kind of bike
He's like,
was
bro,
it?
I can't tell you that because you're definitely gonna know, dude.
No, I mean, was it a street bike or was it like a hot?
Oh yeah, dude. It was a street. It was a crotch rocket.
Oof.
Yeah.
Those things aren't.
And he's like, you better not tell anybody. I was like, you're good, dude.
Jeez, man. Yeah,
But-
that's a toughie because those things get ripped.
He's
up.
done it 3 times. He told me. He's like, I've only done it 3 times, but this time I hit it hard. And I was like, oh man. I was like, I wonder what that was out there.
Dude. I can only imagine the adrenaline.
Yeah, because we were
Going
just
after
talking
that.
about how you were kind of had your
Close.
heart beat last week
Yeah.
or 2 weeks ago when you were doing
I still have nightmares
Travis
about that.
Pastrana
Dude.
out there, dude.
I was like,
Do you remember watching Nitro Circus on MTV?
yeah.
You remember watching that kind of
Nitro
stuff,
Circus,
dude?
yeah. Now all you watch on
Travis
MTV
Pastrana.
now is ridiculousness.
Oh yeah,
Pretty sure
you know
that's
he
all that's
sold
on
his
there.
company. He sold his company, and someone else owns it. It's not him anymore.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess
You
I
know why. Yeah,
You
'cause
know,
he's
make
a-
other ventures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like one
Entrepreneur
of
for
those
sure.
guys, man. Yeah, I remember
a
like
go-getter.
Robin Big, Ridiculousness, Fear Factory, Fantasy Factory.
Fantasy Factory, yeah. And then Nitro Circus was Travis Pastrana, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was still with that Fantasy Factory stuff. Like
Yeah, that was cool to watch.
Jackass,
Uh-huh.
Jackass, the movies. Wee
Yeah.
Man,
But
things
that's
like
all I
that.
see now is just ridiculousness on, like, I don't have cable, but every time like I'm at a hotel or something like that, that's like the first thing that's on. I'm like, well, I'll just watch this because it's a running thing forever. Like, I don't think there's like, I think it's honestly a channel dedicated to ridiculousness. Is how
Hey,
it
when
seems.
you check into hotels, is it like hard to check into hotels, or is it like an easy process?
I guess it
You're
depends.
like, yo, here, this is who I am. This is what up. That's it.
I guess it would depend on the hotel, but so far,
In your
every
experience, I guess.
yeah, every hotel's been super easy. The only one that took a while was the Wolf Lodge. Took us like 10 minutes.
Oh, out there.
Just
in
because we had to
Springs?
like, yeah,
The
we had
indoor water park.
yeah.
Nice.
But it wasn't like a hassle, more so just like giving them information, the kids' height, weight, so we knew what stuff they could go on and get the wristbands and all that stuff.
Color
But,
are they? How much do they weigh? Any allergies?
yeah, checking in's been fine. I've had issues checking out of a hotel before.
That's the worst, man.
Yeah,
wanna
like
go.
bad
I'm
bed
just trying to
sheets,
go,
bad
man.
this, bad that, bad room service. I've had a couple of those, but checking in, not so much. What about you?
Nah, man. I mean, sometimes it can be frustrating. I don't know, but for the most times, it's just easy going. I was just asking questions, man.
Yeah, pretty easy. Yeah, but to the hotel.
But anyways, what's going on? It's your boy. What you got going on, man? What's going on this weekend, dude?
So it's Thursday,
It's Thursday. We
and
made it.
then tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's work,
Tomorrow.
and then Saturday. I don't know. Make it. Some
Hey, what did you
Christmas
think
shopping done, or-
about those 2 Monday night football games?
I didn't watch them.
Didn't watch them,
I
but
didn't watch those ones.
so like I don't know. I was on the phone and people are saying how this is ridiculous. They're at the same time, yada yada yada.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, bro, y'all asked for this.
yeah. That's
Y'all asked for this. Y'all wanted more games, and now you got it. Now you're complaining about it. The thing is like, could there been like a little bit of a delay, 15-minute delay or something like that? Yeah, I agree with that. But it's like, yo,
Yeah, I mean they have platforms
get another
out there,
TV, dude.
right? Or
Watch
buy
it on your phone.
buy the NFL package. You know,
Get
it's
the
expensive,
ticket.
but if you're adamant about that, then get it and
That's what I'm
stop
saying,
complaining. You know what I mean? Because it's a game. You should be just happy it's the game on.
You know, I was listening to a podcast with Mike Baker, and he's a ex-CIA operative, and he was saying like, it's just every year we get more technological, every more you get more advanced, but the more advanced we get, the more like kind of dumber and dumber we are and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we
he's
rely too
like
much on our
saying
stuff.
like, so he was saying like how Joe Rogan was saying like, not Joe Rogan was saying, but Joe Rogan always says that saying where hard times create weak men create hard times, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Mike Baker was kind of humpbacking on that situation, saying like within the next couple of years, America's not going to be the superpower it is today because of the way that things are going now. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, we were playing Call of Duty the other day, just shooting the breeze, and then we upset some people just because they got like a she them kind of thing in their pronouns. They got different
Right.
pronouns in their both profiles nowadays.
And
you
I
know
don't
what I mean?
and I don't know. I'm just playing like I've always played.
And
I'm
it's
not
like we
there
don't.
to
It's like all I'm saying.
discriminate or
All I'm
nothing.
saying is like I think America and the people are just getting weaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not necessarily individuals. It's just I'm saying like America as a whole. You know what I mean? I think we're just
Yeah.
like going the wrong direction on what the pursuit of happiness is, or the right to be free is. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy the path that we're taking, which is, not necessarily a bad one, but it not necessarily is the best one either, through the, technological race that we're kind of in with, us, China, and all the eastern parts of the hemisphere. A lot of people saying that we're going to be becoming too dependent on all these gadgets and whatnot, and all it's going to take is like an EMP, and then we're just lost. Who knows how to make a cell phone? Who knows how to do this? Who knows how to do that? So once
Or even
internet's
think
gone,
about
we're
like
just-
Morse code. You know what I mean? Morse code. All you need is like a little current
right?
to
Yeah.
help you with Morse code, but that's like simple.
So I don't know if like we got an EMP blast, if that would still be a thing,
I think
because that was like before EMPs were
what?
even a thing.
I think they said like a big percent of population would die off if we got hit by like a solar flare, EMP
Oh,
kind of
dude.
deal.
Yeah.
Because that's going to take down the whole electrical grid and stuff like that. So you got to think about all those people on respirators.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Think
I mean,
about all
they
those
have
people eating cheeseburgers all day. Think about those people, not making the right healthy decisions on oxygen tanks all day. You know what I mean? Those
Yep.
people gone quick within 2 days.
and that's gonna be a
Okay, survival of the fittest. Let's be honest out here.
right.
Let's be honest out here, misfits, because we're just trying to stay alive. You know what I mean?
Yep. And if that becomes a thing, then people are gonna trying to look for gas for the generators, and then
Bro,
the
gas is gonna be gone in a few years because
Yeah. I feel like I mean, fossil fuels. I think when I was in elementary school, they said fossil fuels were going to be gone in the year 2024.
they
We're
said fossil fuels
2023.
came from the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They said fossil fuels are dead dinosaurs. Still believe that?
They say that fossil fuels are decayed, not necessarily dinosaurs, but it's like plant matter, all types of different stuff. And they're actually trying. There's a lot of scientists out there that can basically disprove that, because they're saying that it takes millions and millions and millions of years to make fossil fuels over a period of hundreds and thousands of pounds of sediment that's
I don't
crushed
know, bro.
upon them. And that's how they say fossils. So fossil fuel,
fuels.
the way fossils
Yeah.
are made is, back in the day, they said the way fossils are made is like if a dinosaur dies and then like a mudslide comes and then just packs them, and then the next year another mudslide and it just keeps packing them and packing them and packing them, and it forms this barrier over thousands of years, and it protects this, and that's why you get like these fossils that have all these colors in them, and they have like skin on them and still.
Yeah, dude. So that's like what brings a big ordeal and stuff like that, because you have that dude in Alaska that he has all those fossils just coming out.
Yeah.
And they're thousands and thousands.
Well,
years
what
old.
I was getting
the
at
thing
was
is like, where's all the oil at if it's thousands and thousands of years old? That's what I'm saying. It's just misinformation that we've been
Right.
fed for so long. They're called fossil fuels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. With that stuff, it's above ground. So
Bedrock, things like that.
yeah. Well, like the thing I was saying is that like it's disproven because scientists have made fossils in a matter of like a week in a lab. So it just like kind of disproves the fact that we could honestly make fuel that way if we needed to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
It's
what
just
is
crude oil.
what do you think in the future is going to be the next sustainable energy? What do you think's going to be something that like a renewable kind of, what do you think? Do you think we already have it?
For me personally, I think a lot of people are going to go towards the electric side of things,
Electric,
but
like wind.
I think that's going to be another issue.
So, the thing about like what Elon Musk was saying is like, we really haven't tapped into that nuclear.
Like fission.
kind of power kind of stuff because we're scared of like another Chernobyl or something like that
I
happening.
mean, that's understandable.
But with those big, he was saying he's like, we need more of them. You know, this, that, and the other. It's just like I don't know, man. I'm thinking of like Tesla.
Yeah.
You know how he kind of generated all this free power, free energy kind of stuff, and
Right.
like how the government supposedly did or did not. I don't know. I can say I'm a conspiracy theorist. How they took
Right.
all of his information out of that trunk and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and all his books and stuff.
Well, I see. The reason I say that like electric's not going to be like a lasting thing is because if everyone's electric, you have to think they're going to have to, like you said, build more nuclear power plants because it's going to be a surge of need for energy. So the way I think it would be the best way to go is like magnets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like how Nikola Tesla is saying, like the whole world is, or the whole Earth is like a magnetic or an
Right.
electrical power source itself. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. And so, and there's a whole bunch of scientists out there that are kind of doing like prototypes on not necessarily cars, but just showing how useful magnetic energy can be, and how if you put it in certain fills, it can levitate, and it's just kind of untapped source of energy. And to me, I feel like that's more so of a safe way to go.
Have you seen that picture on the phone where it's got like a truck with a big old magnet on the front and like a
yeah.
shield, metal shield with like a stick,
Huh?
kind of like pulling it? You
Yeah.
think that kind of stuff would work?
Well, you got to think about how you're going to stop the car first of all.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got to think about, I mean, like,
I mean, it has brakes. I mean, yeah, brakes.
right, but then you'd have to have a switch to turn the
The
magnet off.
momentum.
Because like you're hitting the brakes, that's constantly pulling you.
Ah, dude.
So I think like it's possible, but it's a
about
very crude way to do it. You know what I mean? You're not gonna just gonna see a whole bunch of fucking buses out there with, excuse my language, with the
big old metal shield in the front.
right. And who knows? You know, maybe that is might be a way. You know, hiding magnets up in the
I don't
front
know,
and
you
able
see-
to turn it off.
You remember you see all these little copper things, you put them on a magnet, they just keep spinning, spinning. You know what I mean? Things
Right.
like, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I mean,
That's like the
sky's
whole
limit.
thing with like the Egyptian pyramids, bro. I think that has something to do with
Oh
it.
man, I've been reading
Like an
up on some stuff
electromagnetic
about that
source
stuff,
and
dude.
stuff like that, dude.
Oh my gosh, I've been reading. If you always want to learn about that, look up the jade tablets.
The jade tablets.
It's the jade tablets, and supposedly the jade tablets were made by a Atlantean called Thos, and Thos was the one who came to ancient Egypt when Atlantis flooded, and he came there and taught all the high priestess after he built the pyramid. So Thos claims that he built the pyramids, and in the tablets it says that he made these high priestess keep all his knowledge and information, and he kept them in charge with like the sacred school. And in the tablets it shows that they taught King Solomon and Jesus of Nazareth everything that they know. And if you put the Bible, like the Old Testament and the tablets together,
they
it's
did
the same
say
thing.
that he did go to Egypt to learn this,
Yeah.
that, and the other. When
So that
you know
is-
what I'm saying?
that is not in the Catholic Bible anymore. It starts, or the Christian Bible, it starts up with, I call my son from Egypt. And that's it. Supposedly he fled to Egypt. to
Well, I don't
go
know
into
if he
hiding.
fled to Egypt.
That's what the Bible says.
I thought he.
He fled to Egypt.
I know he went to Egypt for sure. So you know what I mean.
Well, he
there's
went to
definitely a
Egypt
connection there
because
no matter what.
there was a king that was killing all the firstborn sons, and Jesus was a firstborn son, firstborn male. So he took refuge in Egypt until this guy didn't have power, didn't reign anymore, and then he got called back from Egypt, and that's what the Bible says. But yeah, just look it up. There's a
Look
book,
it up. Do your own research, man. We don't want to get into this. We don't want to.
but it's super interesting, man. It's very interesting. Just kind of makes you think. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like this stuff is old. This stuff is old. This writing's old. But then you have to turn to like, is this guy deciphering it the right way?
And the same thing is too is like you definitely got to think of like if all these other parts of the world are pointing at the same thing, you kind of got to put it together. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like kind of the way like how a lot of architectural things are all put together or all one thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting on how everything's very related, but have different features, but all seem like they pull from the same, place in the world at one time when it was all one. You know what I mean? It's like how there was a land bridge way back thousands of years ago, and that's how they say
Alaska.
This one was
is that the one you're talking about? Alaska and Russia, Alaska, how they connected?
I think so. I think
People
it was
are like all walking down, and the first people came down here, but we know that's a lie too.
I think it was Africa and Russia, is what I think it was.
The ice bridge.
It wasn't an ice bridge.
Okay, we're thinking about something.
Yeah, it was a land bridge, and that's how they say like.
And there's all kind of bridges though, because there's like a sea bridge out there with that like were connected by coral reef that they found way back then.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's all kinds of things that are connected.
Yeah, it's crazy, and now you don't see those because obviously the continents have spread away and dispersed. But that's why they're saying that we find like Egyptian artifacts at like. Supposedly like the Grand Canyon, and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, I don't know, but I think they found things of Egyptian origin from in the Grand Canyon, though. That's a fact. That's proven fact. Though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Super interesting. History is super interesting when you go further back than the Civil War. You know what I mean? So
it's interesting when you just dust off a book.
Yeah, if you can find those,
read
books,
a little bit, dude.
Find those books. Read. Knowledge is power for sure. So. Yep.
What y'all up to out there, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Tell us all what you guys are doing and planning for Christmas break. Maybe some family traditions that you guys do. Comment down below what your favorite thing is, and obviously what your favorite food is in Christmas. Mine's always mashed potatoes.
Now, do you believe in the mistletoe? You believe in that kind of thing?
Like if there's a mistletoe under you have to kiss whoever's there?
Yeah.
I've done it a few times, but
I
was
watched
already
a
with
movie
my
the other day, and I was like,
wife.
"Oh man."
Yeah,
well, that's the thing. You're not supposed to worry about that kind of stuff when, like, it's like a thing, right?
I don't know. Like, I've never been out in the wild, and
I'm just saying, if I ever get caught under one, I'm just saying I'm not doing it.
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying, I don't know. Some people think it's like a thing.
Nah, like my mother-in-law hangs mistletoe up at her house, and that's the only time I go into the mistletoe and kiss my wife. But yeah, if in the mall, and I'm on the mistletoe and you're next to me, I ain't gonna be kissing you. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Oh man, that's a tradition thing. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about those pine cones and things you put in your house during this time? Cinnamon pine cones.
What is that called?
Witch's broom.
No, they call it something else.
I bought one anyways. I think it smells
Potpourri.
good.
Potpourri.
No, that's poopery.
Potpourri.
Spray that stuff when you go to the bathroom.
No. You know what potpourri is, right? It's like dried herbs that smell good. So you put dried pineapple, pineapples, dried pine cones.
That's what you give somebody when they're dying or something. You give them potpourri or something.
Potpourri goes way. My mom used to have potpourri all the time, dude. Every time for Christmas, she'd have like a potpourri pot. It'd have like rose petals, pine cones. Smell good. Smell like the forest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do want to get a message out there to all these people in Colorado. If you live in Aspen, Loveland, Glenwood Springs, Kingsburg, or Snowmass Village, and I catch you guys throwing snowballs, I'm turning you into the police. Because you know why? Throwing snowballs is illegal in those towns in Colorado. Believe it or not. Crazy.
What do you mean? You can't be American and throw snowballs at somebody anymore?
Guess not, man.
What is this place coming to, man? What are we doing out here, dude?
Dude, I'm throwing one anyway.
Negative Nancy's out there. People who are just miserable with their own selves and lives, just calling in kids, throwing snowballs at somebody. Okay, I get it. Maybe it was an ice pack snowball. I get it. I've been there. I learned my lesson not to play with those kids anymore because they're mean.
That is true. Just stay away from the bad kids, guys, okay?
You know what?
Yep.
Don't be a bully. Don't throw ice balls. Throw snowballs.
Right. And I'm just gonna keep going with some Colorado news. And recently there was a rare piebald cow elk spotted in Colorado. And just to tell you how rare it is, it's 1 in 100,000 that this happens in a herd of elk. So that's a lot. And one was spotted. I'll throw a picture up here. And you really think about it, just looks like an albino cow with like some very light spots on it. You know what I mean? So
it looks pretty cool. Actually.
We'll see. When
now, do those live longer than albinos? You know what I mean? Because when albinos go in when they're in the wild, they die a lot sooner than all these other ones because they're like half retarded.
Yeah. So I would imagine that this probably would develop some type of sickness or disease because usually when you have this type of rare genetic defect, you're gonna have some other type of problem with with something else in your body.
You're like, yo, you
so.
see Larry the elk over there? He caught the white. Don't hang out with him, man.
Exactly. Yeah. So exactly. So you never know. So I mean, leading off of that, Colorado is also trying to introduce wolves back in as soon as next week. So as soon as this upcoming Monday. So that's another thing. If a wolf sees a bright white cow elk, they're definitely going to go for it. You know what I mean? Like it's right there. So, but yeah, that's it's a huge debate right now between all the cattle ranchers, all the farmers out here in Colorado, because they're already having a rough time with the very few wild wolves that are already in Colorado. Now, when I say introducing wild wolves, we're going to be introducing about 250 of them at once. So it could possibly pose a big threat to these people's livelihoods that are trying to, keep their cattle, in line and all that stuff. So tell me what you guys think about that. So it'd be pretty interesting what the future's going to hold with that.
Yeah,
so.
Man, I don't know. Like if I was like a rancher or like somebody who owns some like livestock or something like that, I would definitely be worried into something like this because I don't want them coming around here mauling my calves,
right?
Mauling my livestock. That's how I work. That's how I keep a living.
Exactly.
That's how I keep food on my table.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a different thing. The funny thing is like you got all these conservationists and Nancy's out there who've never been in the wild fighting for freedoms and things for these animals and stuff, but never milked a cow or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's like definitely hard to, do all this kind of stuff because our Governor Polis, he's kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, his last name Polis, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we'll see what avenue we run down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we're running out of time here, but I want to really talk about this this young fan for the Washington Commanders that has posed a lot of...
Oh, they call him the blackface kid or the blackface fan.
Right.
You're talking about the Washington Commanders where he had so there's like a news outlet article calling him the blackface kid, right? And everyone's like, what are you talking about? So you look it up, blackface kid, and it's talking about the NFL. And you're like, what? NFL, blackface kid? So you see this kid walking in the audience and he's got like a headdress on of like a Native American headdress, chief. And it's just got a blackface. You're like, what the heck?
Right.
And that's just one-sided picture. Let's talk about perspective, right? So he's just walking down, maybe the concessions, maybe getting himself a good old-fashioned American hot dog, you know what I mean? And then you look, and he's got his other side of his face painted red.
Exactly.
So it's all about perspective. It's all about the media. It's all about people, telling you their side of the story.
Right. Literally their side.
And the thing is I believe the kid is actually Native American. So regardless of what anybody thinks, regardless of if it's about this or the other, which it's not, it's about a football team. Right. It's about football.
Right.
Take everything and anything out of it. Let's support your home team, football team. And they're the Washington Commanders, representing of a Indian tribe or whatever you want to call it. They're representing their football team. You don't have to go through this, and you don't have to put a labeling on some young kid who doesn't know the difference between right and wrong yet.
He's just
hanging out with his dad, watching a football game. And this is just like the same thing that came up in the news a couple weeks ago with the kid with the football. He put the
blackout?
Yeah, the blackout on his face, and he put like a big old triangle. And again, another blackface thing. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on with this country, man.
Yeah.
Y'all are softies. Y'all are weak-minded individuals, and it's disgusting, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of people try to reach, to try to get their so-called 15 minutes of fame, you know what I mean? Or trying to say that they're fighting for what they believe in, which I get. You should fight for what you believe in, but this is just, like you said, it's just a kid having fun watching his game. You don't need to be toxic about something like that. I think it's just all about like clickbait kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know, man.
So the first thing you see on all these articles is just one side of this boy.
The whole blackface kind of thing.
Then you see another picture of him. It's got red on the other side. It's just face paint.
Cheering for his football team.
All kinds of people.
With a jersey on.
Right. And you see people like Michigan State. All these dudes paint their faces
yellow. All yellow and black, right?
They're just hometown team, hometown colors. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, man.
Can't do this anymore, man.
It's just a lot. So anyway, another thing that I want to get back onto is this upcoming UFC card that it's just stacked, monstrous.
UFC 291, baby. All right. Main card, main fight. Who you got and why? Do you have Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington? Who's your fighter? Who's your choice? Who do you pick?
I'm going to pick Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards, good answer. You know why? Because Colby Covington doesn't deserve a title shot. Why? He keeps losing. He hasn't fought in a couple years. Last person he fought was George Masvidal. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here?
And that went to decision.
And what are we doing here, dude? You don't deserve nothing. Okay. Second fight is what? Who's next? Panjo versus Royval. You know, those two both both fought Brandon Moreno, dude.
Right.
You know, Brandon Moreno's a dog, you know.
He is.
You know what I mean? He lost his belt, but he's still a contender up there, and both these guys fought that dude. So that's gonna be another banger.
Yeah.
I think one fight you're interested in is the undefeated guy, Stephen Thompson versus I think it's like Rokomanov or something like that.
Yes.
I can't think of his name, but he wears like that funny looking hat. It's like a fur trapper hat, and he always wears his flag with him. It's like a light blue flag. I can't remember what it was, but he's a killer too.
Yes.
I think both these guys stylistic are the same because Stephen Boy Thompson's like a Karate Kid, Cobra Kai kind of guy, and the last couple fights, Romanov kind of like kind of TKO people, kicks and stuff like that. Yeah, so we'll see what's going on with that one.
I'm super interested in that because obviously undefeated is something you want to keep. You know,
you got to keep your O. You got to keep the O. You know what I mean? John Jones, he should have an O, but you know what I mean with the illegal elbows or whatever. He was beating the hell out of that dude. Khabib, he didn't really fight that many good people. I mean, there's names he fought, whatever. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He ain't nobody. But you got this dude, you know, he's an upcoming fighter, things like this and that. Another person that was O and ready to go was Ian Gary. I think he was like 13-0 or 19-0. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be fighting. He was supposed to fight Luque this weekend, but I think he got like a cough or a cold, and so he's like, I can't make it or something.
Sad about that one. I was looking forward to that one for sure. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. I saw that he got canceled yesterday, probably earlier than that, but I just saw that he wasn't going to fight. So pretty bummed about that, man, because I like watching him fight for sure.
Another fight that most of you veterans know is going to be Tony Ferguson. He's getting ready to fight Paddy the Batty, Paddy Pimlet. You know what I mean?
So I was looking at that card. When is the last time that Paddy had a fight?
Paddy fight a couple, I think it was like a year ago because he just got injured and stuff like that is why.
So that one should be interesting because you said
Colby Covington's been on a longer waiting list than Paddy the Batty. So I mean, why does he deserve a shot when all these other guys are waiting in line? You know,
that's true. Like I totally want. I'm very torn on this card. You know, because I've been a huge Tony Ferguson fan since I started watching UFC with you, and then when Paddy the Batty came out, I was like, dude, this kid's a stud. It's gonna be interesting because Tony Ferguson has lost his last couple fights, like you said. 6 in a row. And then Paddy the Batty hasn't fought in a year. So it's like
about a year and a half.
So you would think, you know, obviously he's keeping fit. He's staying
well, here's the thing.
Staying combative and stuff, but
with Paddy the Batty is like he doesn't stay fit, bro. You see him eating cheeseburgers. And you see him, I think he's probably like 80 pounds overweight all the time. You see Togi Ferguson over here training with David Goggins. If you know who David Goggins is, he's just like a tank, bro. People look up to him for inspiration.
Right.
You know, David Goggins will text Joe Rogan and say, get your ass up. It don't matter what time it is. Have a good day, brother, because I'm the best of the best of the best, sir.
Exactly.
He's that kind of guy. So, but it don't matter who's in your corner, dude. It's always about the person and the individual himself. Yeah. And the thing is, there's a lot of controversy about this fight. It's like Paddy the Batty has a lot to lose. A lot to lose and a little to gain. You know what I mean? He has to knock out Tony Ferguson to say or do anything within the next round or two. And if he doesn't, Tony Ferguson is going to have the edge on him because of the cardio and the thing that's Tony has been around. But ever since Tony, you know, had that bum knee with that press conference accident, he hasn't been the same. Right. So I don't know. It's going to be a good fight to watch too.
Yeah, I think, you know, now that you say that, I feel like Tony also has a lot on the line too because, you know, he's lost his last 6 fights. And if he loses,
he should retire, bro.
So like if he loses, so if he loses, you don't want to retire on the bottom, right? Or on a loss. You know, some people have. Cowboy did. You know what I mean? So, I just feel like if he does lose this, it's going to show his age. You know, and if he wins, it's going to be like, man,
he's
this
up
guy
there
still
for
has
sure.
it. You know what I mean?
He's up there for sure. But I bet you $100 he ain't going to retire, and he's going to call out Conor McGregor.
Something like that.
You know,
even at a loss.
And then your last fight, you got Josh Emmett versus Bryce Mitchell.
And Emmett was supposed to fight Ian, right?
Yes.
Ian Gary.
Bryce Mitchell stepped up. Bryce Mitchell won his last fight.
Damn, that's a pretty short notice.
Remember, he came out with what this world's gotten to.
Oh, yeah.
It's a damn shame.
Oh, yeah. That's
people
him?
like me and people like you. And he was throwing up that Bible up in the ring.
That's
and stuff
him.
Like that.
That's Bryce Mitchell.
That's
That
Bryce
is.
Mitchell, dude.
What?
We were watching that at Nick's house.
Yeah, he just fought Dan Ige, huh? On his last one. That's what he did, and he had the Bible. That was some pretty powerful stuff, dude. I know, like he said,
It was pretty cringy. I don't know about powerful, but it was pretty cringy, dude. I was like, ugh.
Because we had talked about it on our podcast, and I'm like, I know a lot of his fans probably do not like that, but I mean,
Well, he's from Arkansas, so that's the Bible.
Bible Belt,
Yeah.
Bible Belt, baby.
Down there, I think.
But yeah, congrats to him for stepping up, though, dude. That should be a good fight because he put it all out there, so. Should be interesting. Let us know who you guys are going to pick for this card and who you like, who you don't like, and who you wish you could see.
Yeah, smash that like button.
So, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we out here, Misfits.
Peace.